When we think about pirates in the 17th or 18th centuries, we rarely, if ever, think of African people. Popular culture has a tendency to romanticize pirates and their legends, mostly highlighting Europeans who took their own destiny into their hands, challenging governments and principalities, and they took this route largely due to lack of opportunity or grim upbringings. However, the dire circumstances of the Atlantic slave trade and the systematic dismantling of African kingdoms no doubt presented many black men the opportunity for advancement and independence through pirating. And today, we're fortunate to learn about these men in the legends of the Black Caesars. What up, African world? It's Home Team here, and welcome back to another video of African history, culture, and worldview. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and supporting this content. If you'd like access to courses and sources, or you simply want to show your support, you may do so by clicking the Patreon link in the description box below. To begin, there are two known Black Caesars, and scholars aren't exactly sure if the first Black Caesar I'm going to talk about actually existed, as there are virtually no solid records of him. It's possible that the first legend of Black Caesar is simply a collection of stories about black pirates who actually existed. Either way, the legend of the first Black Caesar can be said to be an allegory of all black pirates who acquired power and sovereignty in the 17th and 18th centuries. Black men who conquered the imagination, if you will. So today, we're going to tell the story of the two legendary Black Caesars that make it to our history books. Some scholars claim that black pirates made up about 30% of all sailors in general. Black sailors were sought after for many jobs at sea, including cooks, musicians, and skilled sailors. It's estimated that nearly 50% of Caribbean pirates were black during this time frame. During the golden age of piracy, about 1680 through 1725, Africans were often forced to work as slaves on land, but at sea, they were considered equals. The first Black Caesar was an African ruler known for his intelligence, leadership ability, and physical strength. In Africa, he became involved with the slave trade, with his ethnic group providing many slaves to the slave traders. Both he and his men became wealthy and powerful. The slavers, finding it hard to financially deal with Black Caesar, tricked him into a slave ship where they imprisoned him and shipped him to the New World. En route, a severe hurricane struck the slave ship. Caesar and others escaped from the sinking ship and attached themselves to remnants of the ship, floating to what is now Adams Key on the southern tip of Elliott Key in Florida. Black Caesar and his pirate band of former slaves established a pirate community and began a very successful period of attacking and capturing merchantmen and small boats of all nations. Legend has it that these early pirates operating in the Florida Keys would bring their prey and captured ships back to what is now known as Caesar's Rock. This Black Caesar is given credit for first using the phrase, "dead men tell no tales." Some historians estimate that he had over 100 women in his harem and prison camp on Elliott Key. Black Caesar decided to move his harem out of harm's way and away from threats from his own pirates to the current islands of Sanibel and Captiva. He built a village for his women on what became known as Captiva Island. He established a base on Sanibel Island and traded actively with the Calusa Indians from what is now Pine Island. Black Caesar moved between Sanibel Captiva and the islands of Elliott Key for a number of years during this period. He joined forces with one of the most notorious pirates, Blackbeard. Together, in 1718, when Blackbeard's ship was attacked and captured, both were tried and hanged in Williamsburg, Virginia. 100 years later, another Black Caesar came into Southwest Florida history. The second Black Caesar was historically one of the most vicious pirates that plied the waters southwest of Florida and the surrounding area. His name was said to be Henry, and he was born in 1767, and his family was enslaved by a wealthy planter with a large plantation in Haiti. Very intelligent at a young age, Henry became a houseboy and enjoyed a good life. He learned a great deal from his master's conversations. He was exposed to the better things in life and developed a burning desire to be free. Unfortunately for Henry, by age 16, he had grown into over 6 feet tall and became a physical specimen. His master had him placed in the plantation lumberyard where his strength could be better utilized. Henry resented this transfer, which was a drop in his status from the good food and easy task enjoyed by the domestic house servants. Even worse, the lumberyard overseer was a cruel Frenchman who loved to whip the slaves and draw blood from them while they were cutting mahogany logs with 2 man-saws, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Hatred of this man became paramount in the young Caesar's mind. Henry took part in the plans to revolt and, in 1791, joined Boukman Dutty and others in the glorious Haitian Revolution. He took great joy in killing his cruel overseer with the very saw he was forced to use, virtually cutting him into pieces. He then spent 9 years as a leader in the jungles, attacking French patrols and forts. In 1804, France was absolutely crushed by the Haitians in Haiti and became the first nation in the Western Hemisphere to become independent after the United States. Henry was disgusted with the lack of planning and government by the revolutionary leaders and turned to pirating. After capturing ships off Cuba and the Bahamas, Henry realized that relocating to Elliott Key in the Florida Keys would give his pirates a great location to attack small merchant ships off the Cuban coast and the Bahamas Channel. Like the first Caesar, Henry and his pirates were successful for the next decade. He began to refer to himself as Caesar the Great. However, following the War of 1812 and the purchase of Florida by the United States, Black Caesar was forced to abandon his lucrative base on Elliott Key and move northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico. Black Caesar established a settlement on the bay side of Sanibel Island and carried out pirate raids from there. By 1829, Henry was eventually captured by the Spanish off the coast of Cuba and died shortly afterwards. All in all, the history of black pirates are interesting because pirating was one of the few things black men could do during those times to acquire freedom, power, and most of all, dignity. Ironically, due to the dehumanizing systems founded by racism and white supremacy, many black men actually didn't choose pirating. Pirating chose them. Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like these videos and want to help in its continued production, consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.